Yesterday, members of the New York City Police Department, the housing unit, were on patrol in a housing development in the South Bronx, in the 43rd Precinct. And they encountered two individuals. They were doing a targeted enforcement action there. They encountered a couple of individuals which fled. They gave chase, and they ended up taking Mr. Cotton into custody, Mr. Mikaail Cotton into custody. He has been charged by the New York City Police Department with possessing a stolen firearm and the possession of controlled substances. When he was first arrested, he gave a false name. It took a little bit of time for them to discover who he was. So they then contacted us, and he's being held for arraignment. He is either in Rikers or on his way there after his arraignment on the New York City charges. Excuse me. And that's the information I have for him. He's going to be, the Lancaster County District Attorney's Office has already started the extradition procedures. We don't know how long that will take place. That's kind of a lengthy process.
I do have a question. For Cotton, can you confirm his relationship with Zink at this time?
It's my understanding that they were romantically involved.
Is there going to be anyone else charged in the case?
There's no one else that's charged in the case. Would like to say that we have spoke with Mr. Soto Colon, Helmer Soto Colon. We conducted an interview with him. We would still like to speak with Savannah McFennon at some point. So we're asking her if she could to contact the Manor Township Police Department, and we would like to have an interview with her.
Do you know where she's located at this point?
We do not at this point.
The video that was posted to social media that appears to show a man that is Cotton rapping about the crash and Zink's death, is that being treated as any sort of confession or anything like that?
We're not treating it as a confession at this point. It is part of our active investigation. We haven't confirmed the authenticity with him. I can't really speak to the authenticity of it. The skill and artistry level is a little bit lacking, but that's not relevant to our criminal case.
Has the department been able to identify the social media video posted of the rap to the page TTGFTO? Is it evidence in this case?
I would say the investigation is ongoing, and we're continuing our efforts.
Is the department planning to pursue any additional charges against Mr. Cotton?
Yes, our investigation is ongoing, and there is a possibility of additional charges.
Can you confirm if Soto Colon and also McFerrin were inside the BMW of the crash, at the crash?
I can confirm that someone was inside the BMW. We've spoken to Helmer, and we would like to speak with Savannah at some point.
Someone out of the two of them, just to be clear.
Yes.
Have any other details been figured out regarding what led up in the minutes before the accident occurred, as to maybe anything that happened?
Again, I'm going to go back to the ongoing investigation. We would encourage any members of the public who may have seen them together earlier in the evening or who may have some information to come forward. I would like to thank the members of the public who have offered us information, who have called in tips and helped us in our investigation. Of course, I'd like to thank the New York City Police Department officers that chased Mr. Cotton down and took him into custody.
From what you've gathered from Cologne, did he know Cotton in any capacity prior to the incident?
There were acquaintances, yes.
Has the New York City Police Department given any indication as to what Mr. Cotton was doing in New York? Like, was he visiting friends, family? Have they given any indication regarding what he was doing there?
They have not, and we haven't had a chance to speak with them in depth. It's been more limited to the criminal charges at this point.
Have you spoken with the family of Saige?
I have not personally. Members of the department have. We notified the family that Mr. Cotton was taken into custody before that became public knowledge.
In the video circulating, you see two cars going down the street. Were they racing? Do you know what was happening there?
That's a subject of ongoing investigation, and it's certainly one of the things that we would like to speak with Savannah about.
I know you guys have the cars. Have you determined, or will the cars tell you how fast they were going when the accident happened?
We can get a rough estimate based on various physical characteristics of the roadway, the skid marks, the scuff marks, but that reconstruction is going to take some time, and that, as with many things, is ongoing.
So Mr. Cotton was able to get all the way to New York, and so after any kind of accident, there's always going to be some degree of injuries. Has there been any indication that he did sustain any injuries that maybe a New Yorker or someone was like able to say, or use kind of, or is currently, to your guys' knowledge, he and the other occupants were all able to get out of the car entirely unharmed?
We don't have any information that he sustained, he or any of the people sustained any significant injuries.
What about anyone else connected to this case facing charges? And I'm not just talking about people inside the vehicles, people who maybe were housing Cotton.
I will go back to my standard. The investigation is ongoing, and we're exploring a number of different options.
We missing anything?
I'm sorry?
Are we missing anything?
I don't think so. I covered everything. I was trying
As
to.
far as the person that assisted them getting out of the car, and, you know, then they took off,
Mhm.
was he aware that Saige was in the car? I'm sure that's probably part of the investigation.
When the first arriving officers came on scene, we were not aware that anyone was in the vehicle. The emergency response was swift, but we didn't have any information that there was anyone in the vehicle.
Was it after talking with witnesses at the scene that the department became aware there were other people involved?
We were aware immediately that 3 people had left the area. The Marine unit was the one that advised us that there was someone still in the vehicle.
How will the procedure look for getting him back out in New York? Will you guys go get him or someone else? Or?
Some of that will depend on whether or not he chooses to contest extradition. As I said, the district attorney's office is already working on that, and we will, whenever we're able, we will go up and get him.
What will that process look like if any further charges are filed against any other people that have been interviewed or the ones that you are looking to interview as part of this investigation?
Well, obviously, we would have to file charges with the magisterial district justice, and that would be public once the criminal complaints are filed.
I'm all good.
Everybody happy?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.